Hello, this morning you find me back in the local park, which is where I'm only shooting for the next few videos. I wasn't planning on coming out today, but woke up, got the kids ready and that kind of stuff, and the fog when I opened the window was beautiful. I have shot in the park before in the fog, and I'll put that video up there and I'll link it below as well. But I wanted to come and try something different today. I wanted to try and be a bit more accessible. I've got a few ideas, and Dave Griff does a series of videos called Park and Shoot. I call it Rock Up and Shoot. And I spoke to him about this idea that I had because I didn't want him to think that I was stealing his idea. And I've got an idea for my 78.5 mile radius, square mile radius limitations. And I'm going to kickstart that after the Peak District meetup and video. But this is quite accessible. I want to only stay on the paths and where you can walk easily, not only because it's so muddy, but I wanted to make it accessible for people. It's a local park, you should be able to take local accessible pictures. And I'm just firing off a shot now. A load of the birds and ducks have just made their way towards me. I've got this composition set up and it looks quite nice. I'm at 12mm. Let's take another one of them. And yeah, it's so simple. I'll turn the camera around so you can see. Tree in the middle of the lake, mist and fog leading you to the trees in the background, which are sort of half covered in mist and fog, and then beyond that the sky's grey, lots of grey, different shades of grey. But I'm really enjoying the colour of the little island that the tree's standing on. So I'm hoping in post-process I can bring those out a little bit more. But I've got a little, I don't know whether the ducks think I've got any bread or something, but they're making quite a nice foreground, and I'm shooting at such a fast speed that if they move there's no image blur or anything. I'm shooting at a 30th of a second, so I think that should be alright. Yeah, that looks lovely. Such a simple composition, such a simple shot, which is just, I just spotted it and it looked good. Hopefully it'll look quite nice, and I'll pop it up now. I was quite happy with that shot, but I've just changed my setup slightly. I'm still shooting wide, I'm still shooting at about 12mm. I wanted to crop out these overhanging branches here, but I've just played around this walkway here. I wanted that to lead you into the shot, so I'm not sure if you can see on the back of the camera. You probably can't, but I'm basically shooting there, having this lead you in, having that on the left hand. It looks quite nice. Slightly different shot. I'm not really, just gonna go and grab my bag. I'm not really a big fan of using man-made stuff within my shot. I always try and cut out bridges and, you know, different bits and pieces. But I think this works really well. This is a new little walkway around the pond area, and it just kind of, it feels right. It's one of those shots where you think, actually, that looks quite nice, and if it didn't have that, it wouldn't work as well. Again, the sort of moody, atmospheric, foggy conditions are juxtaposed against these lovely, quite vibrant greens and yellows and a bit of oranges. I'm hoping I can pull them out in post-process, like I said. Yeah, should be quite an interesting shot. I'm hopeful that I can use this. I've signed up to do a calendar of the local area. I need to get that in fairly soon so I can get samples, and then I can start getting pre-orders for next year. Well, to be in shops from like September, October. But I think this shot would be quite a nice little addition to the calendar. I think it would look quite nice. I think it would look really nice. Nice. Right, I'll pop that one up now, and then I'm going to go and find somewhere else just in case this fog lifts, which I don't think it will do. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. There's no sun coming through. Hopefully I can get quite a few different shots from the park today in these conditions. I hope you enjoyed that shot. So I've moved slightly into the park and I'm still sticking to all the path, so it's nice and accessible. And this composition in front of me just spoke to me. There's something about it. There's 2 trees on the right hand side, 2 trees on the left. They're a bit of a family. Everything's sort of intertwined with all the branches nicely silhouetted against the grey foggy sky and background. And in the middle of the separation, where you've got 2 on one side, 2 on the other, there's like this embankment of trees, sort of in different shades because of the fog, and it just looks really interesting. I'm hopeful with this one. I think there's something here, and I think this is probably somewhere really easy place to look where I'm stood on the path. Both ways there's path, road. I think this could be a place to return to and get this shot in different conditions. I'm not sure whether I'd beat these conditions, because it's such a beautiful shot. There's so much atmosphere and sort of quite mystery about it. It's quite mysterious. So I'm hopeful with this one. Quite excited about this one. Probably need a little bit of post-processing. There's some colours on the ground which hopefully I can pull out. Some nice burnt oranges and reds against sort of the grass and the mud. But I think, as you can hear, I just keep taking shots. Shooting at about 14mm, 15mm, 16mm maybe. No, there's another tree on the side there. 15mm. Shooting at 15mm. Everything's nice and moody. And I'll put that one up now. So since that last picture, I've been wandering around for probably the best part of an hour, struggling to find any of the compositions. Maybe I peaked too soon. That's what I've just said to a fella that's just walked past, and we've chatted a little bit about photography. But that fella is actually the start of my final shot. When he'd walked up the path this way, going up there, he's quite a characterful gentleman. He had a big hat and a walking stick and a great big dog with him. So I've used this fence to lead you in. I've focused on this signpost to make it a very local shot so people will know exactly where it's taken. And then I've waited for him to get up that way towards the mist. The mist, I went around the outside of the park and I struggled to find any compositions. Sorry, there's a car coming. I struggled to find any compositions that I wanted to get today because the fog hadn't dropped that far down into that slight valley. Oh, the car's gone the other way, never mind. Yeah, so I was struggling on the edge of the park, as it were, because all the mist and fog is here. The only other thing that I've noticed is that there's a lot of workmen here, which there was last time, and I've noticed more fencing going up. They seem to be planting a lot of new trees, which is definitely a good thing, because I've mentioned that already before on this vlog. But it means sometimes your compositions are a little bit scuppered with men, builders and building equipment and vehicles and that kind of thing in the shot. But I'm hopeful for this final image shooting that way. I think that's it for me today. I'm going to go and get a cup of tea because my hands are covered in mud and very cold. But thanks ever so much for watching. I'll pop that picture up the end. If you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Stay safe and I'll see you soon.